Okay, welcome to the live. Welcome to the broadcast. I don't know why I almost said I am Martina Muir. So you might be seeing me for the first time. I don't know. Maybe that was a weird little random response, but my name is right there anyway. But anyway, so good to be here today, you guys. I'm so excited to just share with you guys. Like I just always love connecting with you. Let me hold on. I'm shutting off my phone or my computer. I've silenced my notifications, but they just for some reason something's sneaking through. So I apologize for those little beeping. Um anyway, so want to also just let's start out with the energy of the day, shall we? I read it on Tuesday and again did a little bit more yesterday, but I think it'd be fun to kind of see what the energy is doing today. And then, as always, you guys can ask questions. You can post them in the comments. If you want a little quick read on things, we'll totally go through that. Somebody knocked on my door. Sorry about that. We got dog. My little doggy is my buddy. He sits at my feet all day, every day. But yeah, let's totally look at some of that energy of the day. Okay. So I'm going to just do a little bit of kind of like a reminder or a catch you up from what was covered on Tuesday when I looked at the energy of the day. So there was like a I'm about to mute myself. Hold on. Okay, then you didn't have to listen to me yell at my dog. I just need him to stop so my brain could focus. Okay, so let's look at the energy of the day on Tuesday, a little bit of a reminder on what it was doing. There was like a structure energy that was coming into the collective. So, and the way that it was coming into all of us was telling me that all of us are kind of experiencing some kind of maybe a shift, or there's some changes that we're going to make, whether it be personally or in your life, or something that is going to be different now than it was before. But so it was like a structure energy, kind of a blue squarish energy coming up over all of us. But the way that it was coming into us was it was like rain or like ashes falling on us, and it was just integrating into us. And so it was very kind of a slow integration to make it so that we could absorb whatever these changes and in our structure of life is how it's going to manifest in our life. It's going to integrate slowly. Now we all could be reacting to it differently. Some of it could be woohoo changes. Some of it could be like, oh, this is hard. Some of it could be like, oh, I'm seeing it. Some of us might be experiencing things like, oh, I'm really fast talker today. I don't know why, man. I'm like wiggly, lots of energy. But but some of us could also be experiencing it like, I feel like something's coming and I don't know what. Like you could be picking up on some of the changes, but you just don't know what it is. So that was a lot of that collective energy, and it is definitely still there. It's the way that it's coming into our systems. Let me look at the integration of it. Because like I said before, it was almost like ashes falling on us and kind of like gently coming in. And I just see some things. It's kind of a similar pattern, but I'm seeing like energy patches that's just starting to stick to people more. Like it's becoming, it's really cool because it's higher frequencies of light. Let's say you're just looking at me right now, but let's say you were to overlay a super bright, almost like picture like the most heavenly version of me, and I'm like glowing and yellow and light, like all of this amazingness. And if you were to look at that, it's like bright and shiny, right? But if you were just to take a little fraction of, like, let's say you're looking at my shoulder and I'm bright and shiny, but let's say we just take a little piece of my bright and shiny self shoulder, or my, not opposite, take my shoulder right here. And, no, I'm going to say it. I said it right the first time. We're taking a bright and shiny version of my shoulder, and it's now falling down in this ash that's laying on us and it's integrating, and it lands on my shoulder. So here I am looking like my normal self today, except I have a little tiny fleck, a little tiny piece that's shiny and sticking to me. That's a higher vibration version of myself that's now sticking to me. And all of us have some of that going on. Like we've just got like little speckles of our bright and shiny versions of ourselves that are like shining through and sticking and starting to stick. And more of those integrations are coming down. More of them are falling on us. Some of them are easier, some of them are more difficult, but it's just there. It's just kind of like a snowfall that's really slow now. It's like, and these snowflakes are landing on us, but the snowflakes are pieces of our bright and shiny celestial highest vibration version of ourselves. Does that make sense? Sometimes energy is a little tricky to explain. I use a lot of analogies because how do I explain these little things I'm seeing? So hopefully that energy made sense. Let me know. And are you guys feeling it? I want to know, like, are you guys feeling some of these things? Oh, thank you, Natalie. Yep, I've been feeling that feeling. It's like something's been coming for like a week. I've been praying, but I don't know what for. Yeah, that feeling might still continue. It's not all the way here. It's a big, giant thing above us that's part of our shift in our own personal lives. It's not coming. It's not going to all be revealed and all be integrated for a very long time because it's just coming in those flecks. Like literally, like it's going to take a while, but we're going to get some clues. And as more and more stick to us and feels like it changes, we'll be able to get that. I would say, as a collective, one thing that I would totally recommend for all of us today, feels like there's some breathing that could be useful. Like, let's just stop and just breathe and take that, like, just remove any stress, any worried thoughts, anything in our bodies, any of the pains, any of the pressures of the day. Like, it just feels like we needed like an afternoon, just deep breath and inhale. Just be super present, right? Super present, super in our bodies, super aligned with who we are. Like, let's just like settle into who we are and settle into like that faith and that knowledge of like, we'll be okay. Everything's going to be okay. We're okay. Like, anyway, so breath work felt super important. Super, super important. Okay, I'd love to know, how are you guys feeling? I'm getting some comments, but I always like to hear more. And it's fun to see where different people are watching from. Goodness, I just want to like keep marinating in that breath. Okay. Actually, and I'm gonna do something today that I don't normally do, but I feel prompted to do it, kind of having that inspiration to do it. So I'm gonna follow through on what this intuition is telling me. Okay, so I have this little deck of cards. I love it. They're inspirational affirmations, right? Affirmations are great. Love them for the brain and shifting some belief work and all that good stuff. But anyway, so I've got these inspirational affirmations. It is like the most beautiful deck of cards I've ever seen. Look at these beautiful. I have a bunch of affirmation things right here too, but this one's like my favorite. Look, it's like gold and it has these miracles now. And I feel like I'm going to just pull some like affirmation cards. Feels like some positive little messages for us today. I like this one. Okay, I'm gonna pull 3 cards for us today out of this. Okay, who is this card for? More than one? Just one person? Just me? No, I actually feel like it's for multiple people, but I feel like it's gonna really spark and really connect to somebody today. So this says, I make time to recharge my battery, and the world needs my energetic light. So whose energetic light is dim today? Whose battery is empty? Who is a little bit low on the self-care and feeling that and feeling a little bit of heaviness or dark and low energy and feeling out of it? This card could be for you. Goodness, I kind of feel like if there is somebody who resonates with that, am I going to start with a reading with you? I don't know. It just feels like there's something here. Okay. Here's another one. Okay. So I'll do a reading for people who felt like they had this. I know this new twist is fun. I'm like, okay, I'm just following the inspiration as it comes. Okay, here, this is for someone. And I'd be really curious too, if even if you're watching the replay, put maybe replay and put, man, this was for me in the comments. I'd love to see that later. And maybe I can just drop some love on there. Anyway, this one's about anger. It says releasing anger from the past okay, let me rephrase that. Releasing anger from the past sets me free in the present. Does anybody have something that you've been like working through some anger about? I could be another person we're going to do a read for. Okay. And oh, I love this. Okay. And oh, this one definitely jumped out at me as well. And this is so okay, so we're going to put, I'm going to have you guys write your numbers in here. Who, I think, I remember the two. So Anna, I don't remember. So you put that you think this one was for you. Wait, where are you? There we go. Was it the anger one that was for you, or was it the first one about recharging your battery and needing your energetic light? So number one as well. Okay, so we've got a few people for number one. And okay, good. And thank you. Okay, drop it number one. We got number one. And I've got Kaylee. If I said that right, yeah. Then you were number one as well, if I remember your comment coming in at that time. Okay, does anybody have the anger? And I'll go back to number one in here in a minute. Does anybody have the anger one? That was for two. Did this affirmation speak to you today? Releasing anger from the past sets me free in the present. And I also got to say that also is in relation to yourself. Are you angry with yourself? Did you do something or not do something? Have you been picking on yourself? Is there like frustration with yourself? There's something about that anger with like releasing frustration and anger from something that maybe you said or did, or you didn't say or do correctly, and you're kind of feeling frustrated at yourself. It feels like that could be for you. So whoever that is, number two. Okay, and then this is the next one that came up. Oh my gosh, there's so many of these that are good, but I feel like the third one that came up was to truly flourish is to release all the tension that holds me back from letting love pour through me. Okay, so when I read this one, I felt like there is someone who is feeling a little bit of frozen in decision making, and feeling a little bit of fear, and feeling that I want to move forward, but I don't know what to do. And kind of that getting trapped in like fearing that, or like feeling like you're going to make, like, I want to make sure that I'm making the right decision. I don't want to make the wrong decision. Like, so I'm just feeling frozen and having all that tension because you're just feeling rigid and frozen. And that's holding you back, and it's not letting you flourish because of that frozenness and tension that is there. So anyway, okay, that was so awesome. Boom, boom, boom. We're going to start with you right now. I kind of felt like it was going to be you, like when I saw number one, but it felt like there was maybe something else too. So, okay, so cool. So let's start with you. We'll do a reading for you today first, and then we'll go to some of the others. And then, okay, so that was number 1 and 3. If somebody else gets number 3 too, like, let me know. Okay, so 1 and 3, and then we can do 2, and I'll do some of the other ones. Oh, I love, Natalie, way to listen to your intuition. You're like 3 resonates with you, like here, but you're like 2 is stronger. Why is 2 stronger? That's a totally good thing to try to like self-reflect on. Why would number 2 be stronger? What is it? Releasing anger from the past sets you free in the present. And I loved the additional kind of feeling of like, it doesn't necessarily mean angry at other people. Totally had this. We're like, I'm not angry. I'm not angry at other people. I'm not feeling anger. And then I'm like, oh, like but there's something inside of me where I have like anger or frustration myself, or even like a, a feeling of frustration at myself, kind of that beating myself up. So anyway, okay. And then this was like the overall message for today is I share my light with the world. So I'm going to reiterate that and let that be the theme for our broadcast today, is about sharing our light with the world. Ooh, sharing our light with the world and releasing anything that's not our light. Okay, good. All right, so let's start with this. Okay. Do you have a specific question that you would like me to look at for you today in regard to this? Or should I just go in with whatever the energy says from the cards, or like from base, jumping off of what we got with the cards? So let me know. I'm going to kind of lean into a general read unless I see something specific from you. Ah, I love that. Okay, well, that was exactly what I was feeling to do. Woohoo! Releasing what is not my light, whatever you see. Okay. I don't know why that was cough. Well, the first thing I'm seeing is a little bit like your lungs are out of breath, and I'm also seeing like trying to catch your breath. And it looks like okay. Trying to run too fast. This is kind of what I'm seeing. I'm seeing this oh, hold on, I got to write down so I don't lose it. Okay, so I see you running right now, like trying to I want to do what's right. I want to do what's best. Like it's like you're kind of been in a doing or trying to do what you would deem to be good. Like it's kind of like, oh, let me just do the good thing and make the right decision. I'm trying to just accomplish things and do things to get them done. Like almost, and I'm seeing almost like a child who's striving to be the perfect child. Okay, so there's some kind of perfection that's driving you. But when I look underneath the perfection, so this is like the movement and the drive for perfection. But then when I funnel down and I look more at the base, it actually stems from some like core beliefs around like not good enough. Okay. So if there's some beliefs that like you're not good enough, then you're like, oh, well, then I got to do more or be more to be enough. Okay. Well, the only problem with that is those kind of negative beliefs are that there is no enough. What is enough? Right? We can never be perfect, but if we're expecting perfection, we will always fail like at that. We will never be able to measure up to enough if our version of our view of enough is perfect, okay? Because there's no way to be perfect. In fact, what if perfect? What if actually the definition of perfect in our human form is our flaws and our strengths? That's our version of perfect. Like I always call it like imperfectly perfect. Like I feel imperfectly perfect. Like maybe that's your perfect balance. Like you have a perfect balance, but there's no such thing as being perfect. You cannot be perfect in every category of everything because you have gifts that you're going to bring. You have ways that you excel. Somebody else has a way to excel. Someone else has something else that they excel at. But when you excel at something, it's almost like it takes away from another area. It's kind of that light and that dark, and that contrast of yin and yang, and having the two sides to the coin, right? Like the strength, weaknesses. Like we always have some of that. It'd be super bland if we were all boring and balanced here. We got to have some areas we excel, but that's also going to make some weaker areas. And so, yeah, so it just feels like it's kind of stemming from that. So I would just definitely do some increase of self-love. And even if you can just even like energetically just imagine severing, who are you trying to please? Who are you trying to be enough for? Is it yourself? Is it parents? Is it spouse? Is it like God? Or like, what is it? Like, who are you trying to be enough for? And can you come to terms with realizing it will never be enough? Compared to where you're trying to be. There's no way to get to the enough. It's like running up an escalator. So can you stop the escalator and get off of it and be like, oh, I am enough. I'm exactly enough. I'm exactly perfectly imperfect where I should be right now. I love that. Oh, you just talked. Oh, that's cool. Okay. Yep. I beg to differ on that. Every single human being has. What are you comparing it to? Is what I would say. You don't know how to excel at anything that's been weighing you down. So what are you comparing it to? Because I guarantee there's other people that are looking at you and going, "Man, she's got some cool. I wish I was more like her. She's got some cool things going on for her." Like everybody has certain things um, that we just don't see them. They're commonplace. Sometimes our strengths and our gifts and the things that we what comes easily to us we dismiss because it's easy, it's just like second nature, so we don't value it. It's like, oh, that's like nothing, everybody can do that. But really, not everyone can do that. Not everyone has things, like not everyone has certain things come easy for them and challenging things about others. Like that just isn't true. But those easy things for us are really, really easy to overlook and think that we don't have value in it. So I'm wondering if there's just a almost like an unplugging that could happen, like a vacuum that you unplug from a wall and you suck it back in. Can you just suck back in all of those cords of like, oh, I'm trying to do this, or I'm trying to be this, or I'm trying to excel here and I'm trying to excel here. Can you just pull all those little energy cords in and just be? Just be yourself. And whatever you are right now is enough. And breathe into that. You don't have to go anywhere. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to speed up. You don't have to slow down. You literally exist. And as you are right this moment, exactly as you are, it's enough. Can you feel that with me? Take those deep breaths. And listening to the little voice in your heart, what does it want to do? If it wants to take a nap, can you take a nap? Can you listen and follow some of those little things that your little voice in your heart is trying to say? Love, forgiveness. I know, right? Like Natalie right here. I'm not even going to lie. I got to tell you something. This is a secret. Um this is a secret. Well, it's not a secret. I'm telling you right now, it's not a secret. I've actually shown my daughter your picture and she cut her hair to match yours because you look so like your vibe is so cool, like the way you cut your hair. Yeah, I was like, man, look at how gorgeous this is. So my daughter, you were her inspiration for cutting her hair. I should post a picture of her and her hairdo. She actually cut it herself. I was gonna do it, and she's like, "No, mom, can I just do this?" She needed some artistic expression because she's very artistic, and your Facebook profile pics were an artistic inspiration for her to go cut her own hair. So, so yeah, so so just exactly as you are, and you didn't have to do anything to inspire somebody. You just posted a picture of yourself. You didn't have to do anything special. And that's kind of how these things work, is that you will inspire people just by being you. You make a difference on this world just by being you. You just sitting on the couch, or you just being in bed in your room and not even talking to anybody, you still are exuding your light that is one of a kind, that we all feel. And I got to say, like in somewhere or another, if it's not around, we miss it. And so, and especially like the more we connect, I mean, I know, like I've seen you on my broadcast, and man, I light up when you're on here. I love having you here. So anyway, was that helpful? Let me know how that was. Just breathe into the day. Just be. You are more than enough. Yes. Oh my gosh, I so relate to this. I'm so bored. I'm bogged down. I know you meant to say bogged down. With chronic exhaustion and pain, and can't walk and feel so tired and so unproductive. Okay. I do feel like I just want to mention, to just kind of a reminder here to people, is that when it's a pendulum swing, with whenever we're healing something, changing something, becoming something new, if we've been, do you know a pendulum, all of you guys? Like the pendulum's like the little ball that hangs and it kind of goes shoot, 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 shoot. And then it, like, you pull it back to let it swing. and then it swings back and forth, and then it finally settles into the middle. Okay. All of our healing and growth and things and change looks like a pendulum swing. You're going to pull it back. This is, or as you have lived your life, you're kind of pulled back a certain way. So clearly you've pushed yourself um, too far to this one side here. You've pushed yourself all the way over here. So now you're burned, you're bogged down, you're feeling the chronic exhaustion, your pain, you feel so tired. Okay. So now to heal it, guess what you got to do? Because you're so far over here with pushing yourself too far, doing, going. Guess what the solution is going to be a bit? All the way over on the other end of the pendulum. Yes, healing, lots of rest. When I was healing from some thyroid and adrenal issues, I was having to take 2, sometimes 3 naps a day. I felt like the laziest nugget in the whole world. Like I was just like, hi, like I could, but I had to just rest, eat my supplements, or take my supplements, listen to my body, rest. And so literally I was having to take those naps. Okay. So for whatever it is, rest. And then you'll kind of come over here and you're like, oh no, I did too much. Now I'm exhausted. Oh, you got to kind of come over here and do some more rest. You're gonna come over here. Oh, I pushed myself too far today. Oh, there's a little too much. Okay, now I'm going to come over here and I'm going to do some rest. And then you're going to come over here. And as you heal, you're going to center into that place of the center of the pendulum and go, this is my divine balance. This is my balance of being and doing. This is where I can feel recharged and I can go out and do things, but yet I'm coming from the place of feeling fulfilled and whole, right? But because you're so far over here, you really got to let yourself be lazy, listen to your heart, rest. The same principle is like with people with, boundaries. If you've been a doormat for too long, guess what? You might actually kind of have to come over here and be kind of bitchy a little bit and be like, oh, as I'm trying to figure out my boundaries, I don't know how to do that. Now I got to be bitchy about no. And I was like, oh no, I was too bitchy. And now you come over here. Okay, now I got to be a little bit softer. Oh no, I was too soft and too doormat. Okay, back over here. Oh no, I felt like I was too bitchy. And you kind of come over here and know, like, oh, this is my right to go passive to aggressive until you can settle into, what am I trying to say? What is that middle one? Assertive. And you're like, oh, I'm assertive. I can express my boundaries and I can be kind doing so. I can honor myself and I can honor them. And I can be in that middle pendulum swing. So I kind of feel like telling you guys all that too. I don't know who needed to hear that part. Anyway, good. I'm so glad. So glad I got to do a reading for you. I felt like there were more than one person that had some of that. And even to go back to some of the ones, I see Anna here with some similar things. And then this one resonated with number 1. And that was the retaking time I make time to recharge my battery. The world needs my energetic light. So if there's anything, why am I coughing? Hold on a second. I got to figure out what this coughing is. Okay. All right. And you are so welcome. Okay. So feeling into that number 1 for Anna and for Kaylee, did some of those things also help you? Because these readings are so cool how usually there's answers for a lot of different people on things. So let me know on that. Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. So with that number 1, I'll do a quick one for you, Anna. And then I'll go down to some of the other ones too. Okay. So you said the home and surroundings and what I need to do. It feels like there's some... It feels like there's some like conflict energy going on there. Like I see like fuzzy energy, like in communication. Honestly, it feels like it needs some lighthearted fun and joy to lift off of all of the pressures and I gotta do, or I gotta like the structures of things. Feels like let's just lift off that for a minute. So I don't know. Do you have like like spouse, children. I don't know exactly who's all in your home, but it feels like, can you do something spontaneous? Like go take a day at the lake or go for an overnight trip somewhere and just your family and play board games and laugh, or go for a hike or for a walk, or go, I'll do some playing. It just feels like it just needs some lighthearted, playful energy in that space. And I just see light, I see sunshine, like yellows and golds, and I definitely hear like I hear the laughter. Like it just needs some laughter and some lightheartedness. And if you do have kids, it's like maybe not the, let's throw grades out the window for a day. Who cares if you have perfect attendance or grades? Like we're just today, it's all about healing and connection and family and laughter and love and something like that. So anyway, that's kind of what it feels like. And if it's more you that's having some of that, then you also could do that for your environment. Also, too, for your home environment, you can also throw on music. What can you blend some or diffuse some essential oils with lemons and oranges and kind of that coloring of yellow and orange? Can you open your windows? Can you fluff your pillows and play some loud music and just light and laughter and get some of that pressure off? Yes. Oh my gosh, I love that. That's so funny. I have 6 kids. We skipped school this week and went to the beach. Amazing. Yeah, actually, I feel like that was probably the best thing you could do. So that was so funny that it picked up on that sunshine, like connection, playfulness. Yeah, and it feels so coming from that, it feels like the structures of home environment can feel a little confining. So perhaps the question then could be, how can you carry forward into your life or into next week what you just experienced? Can you still keep some of that love and joy and light and sun and playfulness and laughter? And how can you put it into your home? I would also, you can include your children on this. Children are brilliant. You'd be like, you guys, I really had fun. And I want to have our home feel light and fun and airy so it doesn't feel heavy. It can feel like almost a vacation just when we're home. What could we do to make that happen? And listen to the kids. It could be like, hey, we could make this food. We could hang these pictures on the walls. We could do this. We could do that. Yeah. Okay. Fun. Okay, let me know how that goes. I would love to hear. Okay, and then here we've got Kaylee. Yes, was that for you, hearing part of the pendulum? And actually, as you said that, I feel like, that last little bit when I talked about some of the boundaries, I feel like some of that could also be for you. So right now, when you're saying, can you do a reading on what I need most right now? I'm exhausted over I'm pregnant. So I kind of feel like like letting you know, or I feel like sharing with you, like, you've got to define what it is that you need. What is your soul? What is your heart, your mind, your body calling for? If you're like, I've got little kids, clearly I see a bunch of little boys. You're like, I'm pregnant, growing a baby, and I feel overwhelmed. I don't have enough energy right now to clean the house. Therefore, I must communicate with my spouse that we have to budget in a house cleaner. While I am pregnant, we must hire a house cleaner because I cannot keep up with cleaning it and growing a baby and having these kids. And I cannot cook dinner every single night. So we will be eating cereal some of the nights, and we can order out sometimes, or maybe you could reach out and see if you bought the ingredients for somebody. Maybe they're making their own dinner and they could just make a little bit of extra, just same effort for them, but they could just cook extra. You could provide the ingredients and then you could eat and you're not cooking dinner. Do you see what I mean? It just feels like there's options. Homeschool when I was pregnant. Okay, I love this right here. Homeschool goes out the window when you're that pregnant. What that could look like is, okay, let me clarify what I mean. Structure, too much structure with homeschool has to go out the window because you cannot keep and maintain that with a fluctuation in pregnancy. So like when I was pregnant, I homeschooled and I had 5 kids. And so I'd homeschool and what that would look like. And I was on bed rest too. So what that would look like is just a lot of reading. Maybe we played games. And I will tell you, their reading skills jumped. I had a son just from lifting off a requirement of reading because he would be like, read your 20 minutes a day, blah, 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 blah. And he was stuck at like Dr. Seuss. He went from Dr. Seuss to reading Harry Potter books. Okay. Big, fat Harry Potter chapter books. in 6 months because I lifted the requirement of reading and instead let him read for fun. Okay, that's the beauty of homeschool is your children. They can learn. We watched with young kids. I love the leapfrog videos. I can't even tell you. I was sitting in church one time and my son started sounding out the letters, and I was like, I haven't even taught him to read yet. He was young. He was like 4. I hadn't taught him sounds of letters or anything. He learned it from leapfrog videos because we just have educational movies. Get like Liberty's Kids, get Magic School Bus videos. They're going to learn science concepts through watching a show, and that's okay for the season that you are in. And also let your children help you because that's life skills. My one daughter, because I was even on bed rest after I had the baby because I had stupid preeclampsia and then it turned into hypertension, felt like I was going to die all the time. And so I was bedridden for months after I even had a newborn. And my 12-year-old homeschool daughter became my helper. And the skills that she's learning, she's like, are helping her in her motherhood now. It's like easier for her. She knows how to handle a baby. And it was for helping me then. So it's okay. So yes, you get to decide what's going to work for you and what's not. And if it doesn't work for you, then you get to get creative and decide what things you can put in place to support you. Because that's a lot. Okay. Awesome. Beautiful. Okay. So let's go to, who is my next one? Okay. I think I got all the main readings today. Let's see here. Yes. And I feel like that's just such a these are just great reminders for all of us. You guys, that's even a good reminder for anyone, whether you're homeschooling, you have kids or not. It's really important for us to listen to what works for us or not. Like we put a lot of pressure on ourselves. If you're feeling like, for instance, I'm still listening to my own advice right now, all of a sudden I'm like, ooh, I can see areas that I like, whether it be money or others, money, time, family situations that like, you're like, oh, I have to do this or I have to do this because you just think it's your responsibility. You got to do things. And it's like you're killing yourself over trying to do all these things and live in the perfection of your mind. What things can you take off your plate, or what things are in your heart that are screaming, no, I don't want to do it? If your soul is screaming, no, I don't want to do it, you have 2 options there. One is to get to a point where you can release the force pressure and maybe choose to do it, right? So you can either choose to do it, or the other option is you can find another solution to not do it. Okay, those are the only 2 paths to get out of doing something. Find a way not to do it or to choose into it. And if you don't want to choose into it, then the other one is your option. So then it becomes a sense of brainstorming and sometimes getting creative. How can you not do that thing? Because if you do something and your system is screaming, no, you're breaking your own boundaries. You're violating your own boundaries. Your system, your body, your soul, your spirit, your mind, your emotions are feeling violated. And who's violating them? Yourself. So it's really, really important to listen, because sometimes nobody else will know what is violating your boundaries or not if you don't know and if you don't protect those first. And it starts with protecting them yourself. So what an awesome message. What awesome message. And I love our card for today, the kind of the theme. I share my light with the world. Such a fun message. And you guys, I didn't mention this yet, but I would love, I love to connect with you guys live over these broadcasts and through trainings and whatever I do online. I got to say that one of my favorite things is to connect in person. Okay. I have not done too many in-person events. I used to do a lot more before COVID. And so I haven't really increased my in-person events yet, but I am beginning to, and there's the first one that I'm doing on September 24th. It is local in St. George, but it is an Unlock Your Intuitive Superpowers workshop where we work in person live. It's so powerful for me to be in your energy, and hopefully you guys get to be in my energy. Like, it really can magnify and shift and do a lot of cool changing. And so I just want to let you guys know that I am having that in-person event. So if you feel drawn to work with me and be in person, you guys, it's really fairly inexpensive. It's only $111 right now. And it includes a pre-training and then also 6 hours of the workshop. I've set it from 10 to 4, so some people can travel into St. George, or then, and then also have time to leave if you wanted to, if you needed to drive back that night. And it is very limited. I've only got 15 spots, but I've already sold. I only announced it 2 days ago, and within the first day, I had 4 seats sold. So we're already moving and selling them. And I had 2 other people say that they were about to purchase it, so they're already going. But if you guys would like to be there, work in person, I would love to see you guys in person. So just go to iamlivinglight.com. It's the workshop. It's at the top there, or it's under the courses. You can also access that. And so hooray, live events. I love that. Yeah, I guarantee you will come away a changed person. No one leaves the way they came in. So I'd love to have you guys there. And remember to share your light. Whatever you are, however you are enough. You're more than enough. And keep shining bright, my friends. I love your light, and have a wonderful day. Thanks for being here. Bye.